This is obviously very close to home.
It's a Berlusconi campaign.
At least now he uses the sport. Okay.
Watch out! You're going to Sesame.
Hi, my name is Armstrong. My advisors are Jan Christoph Doles and Simona Matsky. My thesis is entitled Service Design as Entertainment, Entertainment as Service Design, sort of a double-edged sword or yin and yang thing. So this is a brief timeline. Well, it's just not a brief. There's actually quite a long timeline. So this is last year, and I had 5 case studies. And so there's the PAD Monsters, which was a service design project, and was sent to Kai and dismissed, but it's going to go to IBC, another one, and it's not going to Sloan. Then there was Rumble of the Future that happened this summer, and that I went to Seoul just at the beginning of this year. Then there was a workshop for France.com called, the project was called Urban Brand Warfare. And then after that, there was this idea for a game called Glider Daycare, but that sort of, you can see it was here and then it was sort of went down. And then Pooptopia has been rising, and so that's basically the current project. And it's just sort of growing. So basically, service design as entertainment is looking at what can service design learn from the world of entertainment. And it's using humor, narrative, and play to make services more attractive and enjoyable experiences. And I think the key point, or my mission, is to demonstrate enjoyment of use is more important than ease of use. And I have this idea of doing service as a cultural experience. And so I have 2 case studies, PAD Monsters and Pooptopia, and they're sort of like the alpha and the omega, first and last. On the secondary track, there's the flip side of that, the entertainment as service design. And this looks at how service design can save the entertainers. And I'm looking at exploring new business models for specifically locative and pervasive gaming, because I think it's an interesting area. And I'm thinking about designing games as services rather than boxes of software. And the key thing is forging partnerships with commercial stakeholders. So instead of doing some kind of game marketing or advergaming, kind of incorporating them into the fabric of the game. And so there's three projects on that. There's Rumble of the Future, which was a proposal, Urban Brand Warfare, which was just a presentation and a workshop, and Glider Daycare, which is, I think is going to end up in my pocket, unless people want me to do it. Well, no, never mind. So the first project, PAD Monsters, with Alejandro, and the PAD Monsters are, PAD is to walk or by foot, and so they're the walking monsters, and they're virtual pet pedometers that you can engage in games, and they also are kind of objects of blog. They sort of record your steps, and then you upload it via USB to your computer. It uploads to your blog or your monster's blog. It tells you about its day, thereby giving the kids sort of a narrative, qualitative view on their progress, but it also gives parents like a statistical report, sort of like how many burgers your kids have burned off. And it's actually staged in partnership with McDonald's as a key corporate stakeholder, because we think that by embracing McDonald's and using them to amplify our message and signal, that we could reach a much vaster audience and actually help kids slim down and, I don't know, make McDonald's kind of fit its Olympic spirit message, or this Olympic spirit of, I don't know why it's anyways, yeah. So, then there was Rumble of the Future, and it's a Myeongdong ghost story. It's a very Korean context, because it was for Arts and Janabi in Seoul, And it was basically a response to alternative reality games and their lack of a business model. And trying to weave the story, weave this narrative, which is experienced through your mobile phone and triggered through some of it's much like the mule technology. So I'm thinking this is actually great that Alejandro did that because it's exactly this kind of system that I was envisioning. And so all the parts of the stories, all those little touch points of the story, they're kind of, you go to the tea house or you go to the street vendor, and perhaps you have some tea while you're getting a clue. And it's sort of, so it's sort of incorporating kind of small businesses into the fabric of the story, so you're kind of experiencing in space. It's a little bit complicated, but it's, and so I'm kind of thinking about how I can use the mule technology to do something for gypsies instead of like begging or asking for handouts so they can actually sell their stories, but it's just an idea. And then there's Gladiator Daycare, which is this Adventures in RFID Retail. So basically, you go to the mall, and this is very much inspired by Paco Underhill's Call the Mall, and kind of trying to find something for tag-alongs and people who are not shopping, the non-shoppers, giving them something to do. So maybe later. So now here we are, Utopia, #1 and #2 business. Everyone says this. This is like the classic tagline. But Utopia is a location-based service, and it's powered by MPAS, which is the Mobile Poop Awareness and Avoidance System. And it's basically removes pet waste in the city. And so what I've noticed, I'll get into what I've noticed, but so later, that's the next slide. But so it empowers dog owners, poo haters, and poo hunters. These are my three key stakeholders to easily mark location of pet waste for the service to pick up through poo tagging. There's a and so there's also So let's get into this. Is this interesting? Oh wait, first a pun warning. So in this. This service design is entertainment. It's all about entertainment and making it funny. And there's also, specifically this business of pet waste removal is everyone has their really cute names. Some are, entree manure, duty calls, real doo, doggy gone doo doo. Anyways, this goes on. But where do we fit in? We're different because we're not serving we're not serving private individuals and cleaning the pet waste out of their backyards. We're going to the city streets and going sort of like on the streets and kind of this sort of shared public space and cleaning up that area. And it's also a lifestyle. Like there's a whole, a service culture. I'm trying to create like a whole service mind of this fun world of utopia. And what inspired this was the walk outside. If you've noticed, it's very dangerous. And so, but poop is very natural, and it's also funny and gross, and so it's this huge problem that's really. I've noticed that on our street it's a huge problem, but it's not really everywhere. You go around where you live, it's not such a problem. And I didn't know why this was so, but I've done some investigations into why some areas are pooptopias and why some areas are poptopias. So this is where we live, and this is where we are now. This is another pooptopia, poptopia. This is where Hedda lives. So here's one of the they're not bad guys. They're just they're irresponsible dog owners, and but it's also this problem is a snowballing effect where you don't see anyone else picking up a dog's litter. Why should you pick up yours? And there's no enforcement of the dog laws, and so why scoop when no one else is scooping? But so I did some poo logging. Sorry about this. We'll go on to the next one. But this is her dog. I noticed that it was a very small dog, and this was a recent deposit. I'm 99% that it was hers. Her responsibility. Okay, this is also bad, but I've also been doing so I got a grassroots awareness campaign with these physical poo tags, which says Sporco Italia on one side, Dirty Italia, No Grazia, sort of a play on the current political kind of Forza Italia's message. No Grazia. So that's and so this is pretty much what I found the hotspots, danger zones. This is via Watt, and we are here, and this goes off to Ali's place, and this is where we get off the bus. And so there's just a small park. It's very dangerous. Small parks are very dangerous. It's another thing that I've learned. And then recently I've discovered that I'm not in this battle alone. That there's actually, this is a local, this is the writings, editorials from a local Milanese. He's 85 years old. He's retired from the fight. But I emailed him and he responded. And he was very happy that someone else was picking up the battle. If you want to go to his website, it's here. Anyways, Piero di Blasi, the original Pucciolenti. So Pucciolenti, a lot of puns, sorry. So, and here's my second investigation. Anna Camille and I went to this big park that Victor had found, with a lot of dog owners and a great big dog run. And we interviewed the owners, and here's Piedina, age 6, and her owner. She's also a dog walker. That's her job. And we did a survey, the NPAS survey, and we interviewed them, asking them dog's age and all that stuff. So there's basically, we had interviewed 6 dog owners, 5 men, 5 women, 1 man, mid-20s to early 30s, all had phones, just basically to see if there was like a feasibility study, if everyone had phones and could poo tag with a mobile phone. But kind of something interesting is people, they're walking their dogs 4 to 5 times a day, sometimes even more. But this is like the average, 4 to 5 times a day, which is quite a lot, I think. And some feedback that we got, it was sort of a lukewarm response. Most people thought it was their own responsibility, but €1 seems, it's not too much, it's just €1. So that might be a nice price to charge. But we did observe strong community among the dog owners. And the story of the woman on a bicycle is, so we were interviewing, and this woman on a bicycle with a dog on a leash and her daughter on the back of her bicycle, she just hands the leash, without saying a word, hands the leash off to one of the other dog owners, bicycles away. Then several minutes later, she must have dropped off her daughter. She comes back, she speaks to her dog, says ciao, and there was like this total automated daily routine that these people, I mean, they know each other, see each other every day, and there's just a really strong community. And I think what enabled that was this big park. And so, third investigation is I took a walk with Hedda and Leo from her house to school, so here's her house and there's the school. And basically we're going from Puptopia to Pooktopia, and you can sort of see where this is just sort of gradually getting worse and worse and worse. And so, yeah, entering Pooktopia. And so, this is a great graphic that Ian sent me, but I was actually enjoying cappuccino and thinking about what I've been observing in Heather's. So what I've been this is my learning. This is what I've been observing, and basically, big parks are good. Small parks are bad in general because big parks you see people a lot. It's like you spend a lot of time there. Some people know each other. Whereas small parks, these little pocket parks, just become sort of empty grounds, and no one goes there. They're kind of icky and gross and really just kind of like a public toilet in a way. So. And also, dogs are social, and therefore all dog owners also kind of have to be social too, because what do you do while your dog is exchanging olfactory name cards with the other dogs? You have to sort of say ciao or say something. And so, while not all dog owners, whether they choose to scoop or not to scoop, while they may not want someone to do that for them, they all need something to talk about. So I was thinking about perhaps the service should give them something to talk about. Kind of daily words of wisdom, kind of Zen koans for on group and stuff. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So this is my third investigation. This is actually here in Milan. There's a church that Dee and I go to. It's in West Milan. It's a Korean church. I spent 2 years in Korea. And this is a really nice community. Lots of kids to be my testers. And so my third stakeholder are the poo hunters. And there's a big debate between like dogs and kids, dog rights versus kid rights. And I thought kids are really curious about poop, and they're down, they see the problem, and it'd be really good to kind of incorporate it into the solution. So I handed out five of these poo logs, and basically it's kind of your junior protector handbook, and basically kind of where do you live? She didn't answer this, but she did draw her street and mark every place where she saw the poop, and this is where her home is, and this is where her school is, and so just on walk home from school, there's all this, yeah, it was a good response. The other four girls, they forgot. They said they'd bring it next week. So, I will reward them if they do. So basically, here's the map of the service. Put it on your phone. And that's it. Thank you very much. First questions. Sarah? No?